A lot of you have asked me what my daily regime is. What do I do on a day-to-day basis to manage multiple careers, a corporate career, writing career, and a speaking career. And in this video, I'm going to talk about my daily regime, what I do, what are some of the productivity hacks which you can look at to improve and manage multiple careers for you. So before we start, do subscribe to the channel, click on the bell icon so that the next time I make a video, you come to know about it. So I'm going to break the video into a few parts. So first, I'm going to talk about my day-to-day schedule. After that, I'm going to talk about how I manage my running, how I manage my learning, how I manage my writing, and how I manage my speaking. Let's go in this order. So let me start about my daily regime. So I get up around 6:30 on most days, and 6:30 to 7, I just freshen up, eat a banana, just get a light breakfast, and then I go for a run. So 7 to 8:30 is when I run every day, close to 10 kilometers I do during this time. To be honest, I am in Bangalore, so it's a little easier because the weather is good, the sun is not that harsh. If you are in other cities, instead of 7 to 8:30, you might have to do a little earlier. So I come back around 8:30, I freshen up, I have another light breakfast, and by 9:15 to 9:30, I am ready to start work. Now, my job is still largely work from home. I don't travel so much for work, so that's how I can manage. So 9:15 to 9:30, I start. I work till about 1 o'clock during one session. 1 to 2, I have lunch. I just have regular food and just take a stroll around just to refresh my mind, and then 2 o'clock, I start again. So I have calls. I have a lot of calls in the evening. So some days I finish at 6, some days I finish at 8, some days it goes a little later because I have international calls. Now, after I finish in the day, I read a newspaper, or I watch a web series for an hour, or I listen to a podcast, and then I spend time with family. I have dinner and I go to sleep. I sleep around 10:30 to 11. Now, this sounds fairly routine, but the question is, how do I manage productivity and other things? So let's start with the running. How do I manage 12 kilometers a day? So I go 7 to 8:30 in the morning. I do about 9 to 10 kilometers during that stretch. And through the day, when I take calls, there are certain calls I take on the phone when I'm walking around. So that adds the distance, and about 2 kilometers a day I get through that. So that's how I manage 12 kilometers a day. How do I manage my learning, and how do I manage my productivity? So when I'm going for a run in the morning, 7 to 8:30, I do listen to a few podcasts, things like Mint Business News, Wall Street Journal News, Wall Street Journal Tech News Briefing, The Economist. I listen to these podcasts for an hour, and what it does is, because I've heard them for an hour, I'm pretty much prepared for the day. I don't need to read anything. I know what's happening around the world. So that's how I typically use my time in the morning. During the evening, I either read the newspaper, or I watch a web series, read a book for an hour. So I spend that 1 hour every day on my learning. The next question is, how do I do my writing? So through the week, whenever I get some ideas through the day, I just jot them down in a notepad. And end of the week, Saturday or Sunday, I spend 2 hours on writing. So it could be writing for a newspaper, writing for a magazine, writing about a column, or it could be just writing about my book. And it might sound very simple to you, writing for 2 hours every weekend, but if you do it week after week after week, you'll have a book ready in a year and a half, and you can write many, many columns for many, many newspapers. The other question you might have is, how do I manage my speaking engagement? So I record my YouTube videos typically on the one you're currently seeing, typically around Friday evening or Saturday evening. It's a Friday evening right now as I'm recording it, and I typically record this on the weekend when it's a little easier. My typical speaking engagements from various corporates, business schools, colleges are on the weekends, so it's a little easier for me to manage my time. Now, all of this actually is a little heavy, to be honest. It does get tiring. So you need to have a certain diet. So I follow a certain diet. So what's the diet? So when I get up at 6:30 in the morning, I have a banana, I have certain nuts, cashew, pista, almond, walnut, just 1 or 2 pieces of each, and I head out for a run. When I come back, I have breakfast. I prefer South Indian, so idli, upma, or just brown bread with peanut butter. During lunch, I have either oats with vegetables or roti sabzi dal. I don't have rice because it affects my running, and I also tend to fall asleep. And the evening, I generally have fruits. It's a large guava or an apple. So that's my day, and I end the day with the warm water with turmeric, honey, and lime. So that's my day-to-day regime. Not that I don't have junk food. So twice or thrice a week, I do order junk food and we have it. This is my regime from schedule perspective, diet perspective, learning perspective, reading perspective, and writing perspective. So I hope you gathered some tips from this which you can incorporate in your daily lives. If you have any suggestions, any comments, any questions, drop them in the box below. I will try to respond to as many as I can. And before we finish, do subscribe to the channel, click on the bell icon. So till the next time, take care. Goodbye.